everybody, welcome back once again to RetroGameFix.com's Sega Master System A to Z Marathon. This week we venture into our first third-party title for the system, Activision's Bomber Raid. The third-party titles weren't as common on the Sega Master System because of Nintendo's death grip on their third-party developers. If you developed for Nintendo, you couldn't develop for anybody else. Bomber Raid, unlike most Master System games, was designated as being a 2 mega power card, meaning that the game itself was 2 megabits large. As you can see, this game closely resembles 1942, most likely taking place in the same time period as well, which I have to admit was a bit shocking when I first booted it up, considering that the case has a large SR-71 on the cover. Throughout the game, you can collect power-up and speed boost to upgrade your plane. And after gathering 3 power-ups in a row, your weapon becomes more powerful. You can also grab up to 2 extra planes to fight alongside of you. And their formations are determined by the number on the power-up you receive. So if it's a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4, whatever it is when you get it, that's what formation your extra planes will be in. Besides your simple weapon, by hitting button 2, you can access your cluster bombs, which you have 3 of per life or per level. Basically, the cluster bomb will take out a majority of the enemies on the screen, or do heavy damage to an end boss. As you build your weapons up through power-ups, you'll be extra disappointed if you die, seeing as how the game is extremely unforgiving, resetting your weapons back to the basic every single time. Considering that it can take up to 30 plus power-ups to progress to your best gun, it's pretty devastating, even if there are an infinite amount of continues. At the end of every level, you run into the stage boss, which is given as your mission at the beginning of each stage. It's also very similar to the mission screens from Aerial Assault, though each stage boss has certain points that you have to destroy one by one to defeat them. The box describes this game as being coin-op ready, which I completely agree with. This game, while being an obvious clone of 1942, definitely is able to hold its own as well. The sounds and graphics show off the system's superior hardware, and the controls on a standard Sega Master System control pad handle beautifully. While some may not fully agree with me, despite its unforgiving nature, I believe this game has a ton of fun replay value. And at this point in the marathon, I'm starting to believe that aerial shooters are to Sega as fighters were to the Neo Geo. It's just something the Sega Master System did well. So with that, I'm going to highly recommend this one for your collection. I literally got sucked in for hours. And all things considered, I'd give this a 3.5 out of 5. So again, this is Mitch from RetroGameFix.com with our Sega Master System A to Z Marathon. We will see you next week.